Hello there guys, it's Joey. So this is the second of the Witch's Brew spell decks. This is the 36 good spells for every day spell deck. This one cost me more than the others. I bought two of the love deck because there's one for the giveaway. This was, I think, around the £10 mark, maybe slightly more than that, and that's because there was one of these and the rest of them were like used or whatever, and they were 50, 60, 70 pounds, which is ridiculous. And I was like, what's going on? Presumably they're out of print, I have no idea, but they're not readily available in the UK for some reason. I don't know about America. America might have easier access to them. So there's that. And this one is slightly redder in its box. I'll just show you the colour comparison. There you go, there's a colour comparison. It's another wonderful, firm, solid box. Oh, brains. And then there you go, like that. Voila. With another one of these little panels of introductory information. And then you get 36 cards with some more beautiful imagery. I really enjoy the imagery of these particular cards. And there you go, you can see the top one. I'm just going to have a quick go through the little booklet thing. Again, it sort of interplays Wicca and witchcraft, which if you haven't watched the other one is a little bit odd. It irks me a bit, and it will irk some other people a bit, but it doesn't really take away from the message of the cards. It's just in the booklet, apparently. So, magic is simply energy management. I wouldn't say that personally. We all need a little boost now and again. These charms are designed to help you get healthier and happier, bringing love into your life. Intention, be clear about what you really want. Love is the law, and this deck of spells is a helpmate to bring the best to you. Remember, the Witch's Creed is always harm none. I'm pretty sure that's the Wiccan Read, not the Witch's Creed, Mr. Booklet. And then it talks about, again, helping you ply the Wiccan way and grow into your path to selfhood. I don't really agree with the booklets using Wicca and witchcraft interchangeably, but if you're far enough along your path that you know the booklet isn't really going to make huge amounts of difference to what you want these cards for. It doesn't make huge amounts of difference to me. It's a little bit when you read that sort of thing, like, come on, like, you know, it doesn't take anything to say Wiccan Read rather than Witch's Creed, but there you go. Talks again about putting an altar together, how you might want to create your first altar. I think the booklet is pretty much aimed at beginners, and perhaps the cards are as well to an extent. But I don't mind it. I think that it's an interesting way of connecting back to ideas that you may have forgotten. Nothing wrong with having a bit of a refresher course now and again. You know, we're human, we get older, memory fuzzes, and sometimes, and refreshing is no bad thing. And I love I have no idea where I was going with that. I love the idea of using these cards in a sort of divinational sense. It suggests in both this and the love spell deck that you use it like you would tarot cards, and you shuffle them and allow your instinct or intuition or higher power to guide you to what you most require on an energy level. And I really like that idea. I think that is different. It's much more outside the box than your usual spell book where you might go through looking for a particular spell or whatever. That's not to take away from the idea that you should be writing and creating your own spells, of course. I think that if you can, then you probably should, but there's nothing wrong with looking up different ideas, feeling out what really needs to be done, and then perhaps integrating that into your magical practice, or even just using these cards for an indicator of what path you might need to be taking with regards to spell work, and then going about it your own way. But there's nothing wrong with bringing in a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of rejuvenation to your particular spell work. Again, I assume some of these cards may well overstep what the Wiccans would be happy with regards to spell work. They definitely did in the love spells, where there were specific spells for specific people in regards to love magic, and that's the kind of weird thing for me, that there's sort of this Wiccan sort of sense in the booklet and then not in the spell work. I have no idea why that is. Okay, so this first one is about physical well-being. Let's actually read the next one. No, not that one, that's not very interesting, but the pictures are pretty. Okay, money bags. Rather than... There's a spell. Rather than chasing money or possessions, a wise witch draws them to her. A tiny green pouch filled with the herb vervain for positive change is a powerful tool for attracting all nature of good fortune. Prepare your attraction pouch during the waxing moon, ideally Taurus. Hold it over frankincense incense and let the smoke bless the bag. Speak aloud. The moon is a golden coin. Sybil, I carry your abundance with me. Blessings upon thee and me. Okay, so there isn't a huge amount of depth to any of these spells because the cards are reasonably small. So if you're looking for overly complicated, many staged, stepped spells, then obviously this isn't what these cards are about, and that's fine. You know, you can go find that information quite easily, quite readily available. That's not what these are for, in my opinion. It might be for beginners, it might be for those looking to simplify their spell work a little bit. Maybe they've gone down the path of overinflating, if you like, their spell work, and they need to get back to a sense of balance and root, and they need to contain themselves a little bit, or just for the divinational sense, you know, and putting yourself on the right path. The imagery, again, like I said in the last video, if you haven't watched it, it's kind of somewhere between sort of Victorian-esque style. There's some sort of an anatomy going on, and anatomical drawings, and sort of skeletal drawings of like leaves and things. And then you have intermixed with sort of the alchemy type pictures. I like it very much. So you have this card is for a self-blessing, for example. Okay, this next one is incantation for new insight, which is interesting. Scratch your name into a blue candle, scratch your hope into an orange candle, into a white candle, scratch the name of someone who inspires you. Light your name candle and recite, this candle burns for me. Light the candle of hope and say, here burns my hope for. Light the candle of inspiration, here burns the flame of great accomplishment. Sit with your eyes closed and picture yourself enacting your hope and desire. Let the candles burn completely for full charging. So there you go, there's another example. So the next one is about poppies, poppy seeds, and dream journaling. It's a lovely image. Being blessing, for general blessings. Quelling your inner critic. It's a nice one. And it actually talks about using a grey candle. Oh my goodness. I've talked about grey before, that I really enjoy working with the colour grey and things, and there are so many books which are based like, grey is a scary colour and a negative colour and you shouldn't use it. And here it's talking about using the waning moon and sort of banishing away your inner critic. That's fantastic, I like that. Isn't that beautiful? Some beautiful imagery. This is a celebration of plenty, of abundance, of taking on a mindset of being thankful for what you have and attracting more abundance that way. This one is for healing the blues. That's interesting. That's the one of the love spells which is in the other deck. The heart binding one, the one that we talked about at the beginning of the video-ish, where I was like, some of the love spells are a little bit on the dodgy side, aiming at a specific person. That spell is in this deck as well. That's kind of irritating that there are repeat spells in there, but I suppose it's to be expected. Then there's an employment spell. Beautiful imagery. New moon and attracting new friends. Lust dust. Well, I never. Sweet dreams. Truth spell. That's nice that they've gone outside the box a little bit. Truth spells are something that aren't always necessarily included in sort of your standard book of spells, I guess. Charm for clearing hurt. To clear away baggage. Abundant possibilities. Tranquility spell. Gifts of love and herbs of putting in amulets to give to friends. A simple spell of acknowledgement to begin your week. Oh, this is the Yombi root tea ritual again. That's another repeat. Crystal clarity to clear away troubled mind. Curing quarrels. Let's just move those out of the way a minute. Anointed lips, which again is the clove lip balm thing that was in the other deck. Vision incense. For visions is it's one of the safer herb type concoction. It's clove, chicory and sneak foil. Pampering potion, Freya's relaxing remedy. Ecstasy potion, that's the mandrake potion again, so that's a repeat. Well, love potion 69. Breaking the silence, if you've been getting silent treatment from a friend. Mental and emotional well-being. House warming ritual. Money bathing to bring money to you. Lover's moon. And Venus enchantments. Okay, this is a beautiful image. I like that image very much. Okay, the imagery is gorgeous and it's all on this sort of beigey style card, which gives it that archaic feel. It's meant to, I think, in my opinion, make you think of sort of like older books, like the more ancient witchcraft style things, and then make you think of all things old and magical and witchy. I don't mind the imagery at all. I think it's beautiful. I like the fact there are no borders. It allows the images to really sort of pop and stand out, as does the sort of beige background. It allows you to pick out the details of the particular images as well, which is nice for when you want these cards as a sort of divinational tool as well as just the spells written on the back. There is very limited amounts of anything that deal with anything particularly negative in this deck, to the point where there isn't that much to do with protective magic. I mean, you do have things for curing quarrels and getting over arguments and things, but in terms of a sort of protection or banishing or reversal style magic, that's not really within this deck. There may be other, I know there are books on this theme by this author that may deal with those sorts of things, but in this particular deck, as I've read to you, that's what there is. So that's worth being aware of, that that's the sort of style of this deck. It does keep on the little bit lighter side, although some of the things are a bit, you know, a bit risque for some people, given that it will go against the Wiccan read and things in certain spell cases. Again, that's personal preference, that's how you feel about it. It's just, I really wanted to sort of go through these and show you. People have been asking to see the card images, so I wanted to do both. Many blessings.